we should give some stuff away for the 100th episode.
Okay.
Best YouTube comment about their favorite moment of Card Talk is gonna get a package of some good stuff.
Wow.
That's what I'll say.
Wow.
That means cards, merchandise, apparel. They'll get a package of stuff.
We'll make sure it's cool. All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Card Talk. I'm Ryan, joined as always by Tyler and Lou. Today's episode, we have a lot to get into. We're going to talk about the Masters, big weekend there. We're going to talk about basketball as the NBA playoffs start tonight with play-in games. The NFL draft is quickly approaching. We have a good amount of Facebook questions. We've got play of the week, and of course, we will start with what's on your mind. I will start it off on this because I think the most important thing for us to talk about on today's show at all is this is the 100th episode of Card Talk.
Yes, it is.
100 episodes. For those that have listened from the start, first off, appreciate y'all for rocking with us for 100 episodes. Could not thank you guys enough. Couldn't be here without y'all. I think if we would look back on this a couple years ago, 18 months ago, nearly 2 years ago, when we were doing test episodes, which I wish we still had. If we looked back on those where we started, I'm not sure I would have said, you know what, we're going to be here. We're going to make it 100 episodes because those are some interesting episodes. But Lou, Tyler, I'll turn it over to you guys.
Oh, well, yeah, those test episodes were definitely tough. They got to be around somewhere. Like, they have to be. I definitely still have the audio file, so like it's there somewhere. But I am grateful for 100 episodes. I'm grateful for you guys. I'm grateful to be able to talk about cards every week. So I'm happy about that. I don't know. Am I doing my what's on my mind as well? Because it's
do you have a favorite episode?
Wow. I really like. I think the quintessential us is at the National as the guys making announcements over the microphone and we're just talking over it. I think that's like the most us there is.
Yeah.
So that's my favorite.
Yeah. I was thinking about that. That's a good question. It would be hard to top that. Like, I remember sitting there, the three of us, after a great day, full day at the National, and the guy's like, hey, 13 and a half minutes till this day ends, 6 minutes and 45 seconds till the show ends. Like, just the most odd times, not like 5, 15 and 30-minute warnings. It was like 13, 11, 9, 6, 3 and 1. So super odd times, but yeah, that was a great episode too.
Yeah.
I like the first Dallas live one we did, but also when I think I was away on we were doing NBA bubble predictions, I think. And I was away on vacation, and Lou, you might have been away too, or maybe Ryan was.
I think it was
away.
me.
No.
Yeah, it was me.
I think Ryan might have been away. We were both away. That was a good one.
Yeah.
So,
Card Talk Live was good.
yeah,
But I want to. We should give some stuff away. We should give some stuff away for the 100th episode.
Okay.
Best YouTube comment about their favorite moment of Card Talk is gonna get a package of some good stuff.
Wow.
That's what I'll say.
Wow.
That means cards, merchandise, apparel. They'll get a package of stuff.
we'll make sure it's cool.
All right.
Yeah, we'll make sure it's cool.
All right.
So, you said YouTube comment for this episode?
Yep. You comment on this episode in the YouTube comments. Your favorite moment from all 100 episodes.
We'll pick
one that makes us laugh the most. We'll pick one live on the next show, and we'll give it away. Give away the package.
Okay.
Cool. All right, Lou. Sounds like you had something on your mind. What's on your mind?
Yeah, I have one thing on my mind and one thing only, and you guys aren't going to like it. Last night, it's baseball season. Baseball's back. The Astros are back. They beat the Angels 2 out of 3 times. I just want you guys to be aware of the fact that we're back on the Ohtani's the best person to ever exist train.
I knew it was either going to be 3 things. It was either going to be the Yankees stink, the Astros are back, or Ohtani's flash in the panty. One of those 3
things. It's quick things. It's quick hitters. The Astros took 2 out of 3, shut down Ohtani, and every highlight was about Ohtani. It makes no sense, and I'm just sick of it. So there's that part. The other part I want to talk about was last night. Steven Souza bravely stated that the Astros weren't the only ones cheating and provided multiple examples, not of teams, but just of direct situations that impacted more than just the Astros, probably more than half the league in 2017. And
Who's
the
this
Astros,
guy?
Steven Souza Jr. is a pretty good outfielder. If you watch baseball, you would know. But
I don't.
I know you don't. But, I just want to put that out there. The Astros were railroaded. They'll never be properly compensated for the way that they were treated by the league and fans. And that's all I want to say.
I mean, Ohtani hit a ball 119 miles per hour, the hardest of his career. Ground rule double out to the right. I mean,
I'm so sick of the Ohtani thing. It drives me crazy.
Lou, who's a better athlete at their respective sport? Shohei Ohtani or Josh Allen?
Ohtani.
ooh.
He has real talent.
I was waiting for him to say. Lou does not like either Ohtani or Josh Allen, so that's
Ohtani doesn't bother me as much because he can't hurt me. You know what I mean? Like Josh Allen can hurt me.
He could kind of hurt you potentially.
Not really.
By the way, I believe on this show somewhere at some point I made comments about Aaron Judge, and I think the Yankees are super right. Get that man out of town. He's done nothing. He's not a winner, and he doesn't deserve much money.
I agree wholeheartedly. He's one of the biggest losers around.
He actually he's done something as a New York Yankee.
Yeah, but he has the judges' chambers, bro. So they got to make sure they give him 7 years for 200. They offered him 7 years for $230 million. He turned it down, which is just mind-boggling to me.
Well, because comparatively, it's not that much money, right?
It is. It's not a 10-year deal, which I think is what he wants.
It's like a top 15 deal in the league.
I think it makes him the highest paid Yankee of all time.
Inflation's at 8.5%. I mean, come on.
Debatable. It's really actually 8. But anyway,
Ty, what's on your mind?
The fact that you didn't mention the NHL playoffs and the Rangers are about to go on the greatest run of their entire franchise history. And
I'm ready. Let's get fired
my
up.
PC is about to bury his 50th goal of the season tonight. Chris Kreider. So
He's going for 50?
He's going for his 50th goal tonight.
Wow.
Yeah, which is real. He came out of left field with his season. Champions League's on today. There's some interesting sales. Golden PWCC, that Messi gold caught my attention. The Cristiano 10 went for, I think, 225, which I just still think is an undervalued card. If you think about what Gretzky's have done, I think that can get there. Yeah, that's what's on my mind. We didn't go live for Lights Out.
Yeah. So do you want to talk about that, Rod? Did you watch the race at all? Did you watch?
Absolutely
balls?
not.
You watched nothing.
I was in Boston Friday, Saturday, and got home from Boston. So flew to Boston, right? Was in Boston, got no sleep Friday night. Saturday, flying home from Boston. Been on the plane for 45 minutes, and the pilot comes on and says, "Hey guys, we hear a noise from the back of the plane. We have to land in Pittsburgh."
Not great.
34,000 feet in the air. It's probably not what you're looking to hear. So had to stop in Pittsburgh.
That's a tough scene.
Yep, absolutely. Was in Pittsburgh for a little while. Flew home. It just long couple days. About 9:30 on Saturday. I was lights out personally. So definitely wasn't lights out for the race.
Lights out, and away he goes into sleep.
Yeah.
How about Devin Booker having a lights out season?
Speaking of lights out season, Austin Matthews. Chris Kreider's at 50. I think Austin Matthews is at 58 goals. I don't think there's been someone that scored 60 goals in 10 years. I think the last person to do it was Stamkos. Kid's a stud. Ready for the playoffs.
Stamkos. That was
Steven
5 years ago.
Stamkos.
That was 2011.
Really?
He kind of dragged out the league a little bit, but
okay.
I think that's the last time I saw it. But went to the show this weekend in Boston. Picked up some cool pieces. I wanted to show you guys these. This, to me, just seemed like a no-brainer. Obviously, the Masters was on. Wish Tiger would have finished a little bit better, but check this piece out.
He grinded, though. Yeah, it's beautiful.
That's a really good piece. That auto is so crispy.
And of
I'm
course,
just
like
really happy you have listened to my advice and executed on it.
Yeah, right. I'm glad you listened to his advice and bought Tiger Woods cards.
thank you, Lou. Thank you for the words of
I'm
encouragement.
fairly certain we made a fairly big deal about buying Tiger Woods cards.
I do.
We did.
I'll show you these, and then I'll show you. I want to give Tyler some credit, actually. I did buy these. I know Lou is super stoked for these.
What is that?
Those are some
Collegiate Josh Allen
Josh Allen's. Those are fire.
contenders cracked ice. Interesting.
Yeah,
Yep.
those are pretty fire, actually.
So bought those
like
off
$5
of
for those.
Guy had a pretty good Josh Allen lot. Picked up his stuff. The last couple shows I've been to, it's been a lot of Herbert and Josh Allen. Really, seen a lot of those guys. So I think I'm gonna probably end up stashing those away until the National. But picked those up. Picked up the Tiger. Got a bunch of cool stuff. But I do want to give Tyler some credit because I think it was probably 3 to 4 weeks ago. We had a conversation where like Tyler's like, we talk way more F1. I don't talk about golf that much. And Lou and I kind of laughed. Like it was kind of funny. But Tyler did mention like during that conversation, he's like, Scottie Scheffler's on this tear. And Lou and I are like, yeah, that's not a real person. Like we don't even know who that is. And he's like, no, you do. And Lou's like, I don't know who that is. And this dude just won the Masters and is on his tear. And I had never heard of this guy. And the only reason I was like, okay, I know who this guy is because Tyler brought it up on Card Talk. So I feel like we should give Tyler some props on that.
Golf claps for Ty. Isn't he on like a historic run of like Masters or something like that? Or not Masters, majors?
He's won, I think, like 4 of 6.
Yeah, which is the first time that's ever happened, right?
He's on fire.
That's
He's on
crazy.
fire.
You
He's
didn't
won
give him
4
out
of
your
the
Masters
last
futures,
6
though, so that
majors.
was tough.
No, of just tournaments this year.
Oh.
He's won 4.
To start his career, basically, like apparently, or something like that, right?
No, no. He's been in it. He's now played 76 tournaments, and he was 0 for like 60 or something about that. I don't. Jay,
in a
there's
previous
literally a
Jay,
clip.
don't do
Yeah,
this, Jay.
exactly. There's
I got
literally a clip
Tiger.
of Lou, which we're not going to go there with.
I'm ready.
Who the
Pull it up.
F is Scottie Chef?
I
But
will.
you did text where were you on that one with the call at the Masters, which I didn't bring it up, but I did throw
Put
the
it yourself.
$75
Yeah, of course
wager
You're
for
the
him to
Lord.
win.
You put money on him?
Yeah, I won a good chunk of change. I had a nice. He was the person I put the most cash on. He was 15-1 pre-20, and he just ran away with it. I mean, Cam Smith was kind of right there, but then just fell off when it mattered most.
But honestly, shout out to Tiger for making the cut. My man was 15 months ago, was looking at prosthetics and just out here just
grinding.
He
was like giving the triple limp. He was really struggling. But
Lou doesn't look like he's having it though.
If it was a 2-day tournament, Tiger would have been awesome.
Yeah, he just.
It was tough on the weekend. It was tough to watch on the weekend.
He couldn't putt. He was
Couldn't do
tired.
anything.
Yeah, he was there. Still would have
I
beat.
admire his work ethic, though. Doesn't he wake up at like 4 a.m. to start stretching or something like that?
I'd imagine so. After on Sunday, he was like couldn't get down the stairs. I was like, geez.
Yeah.
Gio Reyna keeps picking up tough injuries. Just wanted to get that one in there.
Yeah, that's
Sad
ouch.
state of affairs.
Basketball playoffs start tonight. Got to play in game. We talked about it earlier this year. I think it's worth mentioning. We talked about how the Cavs and the Nets could play and lose. Like if they played them in a series, they would absolutely dominate. You know, the Nets are this, and that was when the Cavs were the second seed, and obviously they've fallen apart since. They're in a playing game now.
Apologize to me.
No, absolutely not. They're
I'll give a minor apologies to Lou.
Okay.
I'll bend the knee. I'll
I
bend the
appreciate
knee
that.
to Lou
That's-
on the Nets take.
It's an adult thing to do.
Yeah.
Some people
Absolutely.
wouldn't do
I
that.
won't go Jon Snow. I'll bend the knee.
absolutely not.
I mean, they're laying 9.5 tonight, and it's the Suns
And they're gonna cover
the
it.
Bucks, and then the Nets are the third highest odds to win the chip, even though they're playing in the playing game tonight.
Their odds
So how
have
does it
gone
work?
down.
They win and they're in,
They win, they're in. That's pretty much what needs you need.
Yeah.
and then they'll have to play.
The loser plays the winner of.
But would they play the 1 seed, or who would they play? The Bucks.
They play the Celtics if they get
Lou
in.
explained it one time. It was Lou's
This
explanation
is
was the
great.
most
This
helpful.
is gonna be great audio here, where I'm just looking up the NBA playoff picture. I'm pretty sure they play the Celtics.
Got it. Get Boston out of there.
And I
They'll
didn't
clean them
realize
up real quick.
you guys mentioned this beforehand, but I definitely did not realize that like the favorites are the favorites. Like they're
by far, yeah.
by
a good bit.
far the favorites. Like
Yeah, so the
yeah.
winner, if the Nets win tonight, they play Boston. And then if they lose tonight, but they win against Atlanta, Charlotte, they play Miami. Think of it like that.
so you'd probably, I mean, gosh, gonna be interesting. There's a lot of good teams.
Well, remember, so pre-show I said, remember during like the bubble, we'd be like, oh, if they have a big night tonight, their card market's going to go crazy. Who, Ryan, are you looking to pay attention to in the playoffs?
Whoever plays for the favorites. I mean, if
Devin Booker's market could go crazy.
To be honest, I don't follow like basketball enough. I'm just not like as into it as, some. So could it? Yeah, sure. I think a young guy winning definitely helps their values. Like
Tatum.
Winning is built into so many of these guys' prices though. Like look at Luka's stuff. These guys sell for a ton of money. It's like a winning is baked into anybody's prices really. Like Tatum national treasure. Like I saw Jason Tatum Prizm orange rookie at a 49 PSA 10 on Facebook this morning for $32,000.
Just grinding Facebook at like 8 a.m. on a Tuesday.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
I love that.
Absolutely.
I love hearing
Facebook groups.
But it's like 32 grand. Like, what does Jason Tatum have to do for that card to be worth $32,000 10 years from now? He's got to win 2 titles.
I think he's probably the one guy, at least in the East for sure, that if the Celtics go on a run, I think there'd be a lot of energy behind Jason Tatum.
I agree.
Whether that reflects in his card values is to be seen, but that would definitely be the guy who would become like the story.
How about Embiid?
Maybe
Embiid just haven't gotten as much love. I think Jokic has shown that. I mean, their stuff sells pretty well.
Yeah. They're also in trouble. Like they're missing Thibault now for all the Toronto games. Like that's a problem.
Have you, Rye, has the NHL market noticeably sparked up a little bit in your world?
So I was at the show this weekend, and there were people that I am friends with in the market that buy tons of stuff, like buy a lot every weekend, like travel and buy a shit ton. Excuse my French. And they were buying hockey. They're like, hey, we can't keep hockey in stock. That we're looking for it. There's definitely some buzz around hockey. The one thing that's so interesting to me is, again, I see it more because of the shop, but like we definitely get on Panini. Like we're critical of Panini at times with like the release calendar, right? Like we've talked about it before and how that could affect the card market with football and basketball product. We've been very open about that. Tops at times as well. There are upper deck products that are way overdue. Like we don't have products. Like they're talking about, like I'm getting emails for 2022, 2022, 23 upper deck MVP hockey, and we don't even have the cup hockey from 2020, 2021. That's a full season's gone by and we don't have it.
They're
like
not
SBI,
skipping it?
I don't know. It's like it's I think they're just behind. So it's like I would love to know when that stuff's going to come out. It's the best hockey product they make. Like we don't have SB Authentic hockey either. Like with Kirill and who else is in there? Lafreniere, some of those guys. Like those products aren't out yet. Like those guys are not even rookies anymore, are they?
Lafreniere's about to have a huge playoff.
Yeah, no.
So again, hockey's like it's very interesting. I wish I was more involved in that world to know why some of the stuff takes as long as it does, because there's so many. Like they've moved Prizm football back. Did you guys see that?
They did?
Yeah, it was in March. Then it got moved to April 26th, and then it got moved to May 11th.
They pushed Prizm back again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, May 11th.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah,
that's unbelievable.
If you go back a couple years ago, Prizm was released. I can triple check. I think it's October.
Yeah, October. Yeah. That's unreal that they would wait till May to put that out.
Yeah.
Because then what is 2022 going to come out? And
It's scheduled. Prizm 2022 draft picks, the collegiate product with Garrett
no, I mean
Wilson.
the real Prizm.
No, so hear me out. Prizm draft picks is scheduled to release the same day as Prizm from the previous year.
Stupid. Really, really stupid.
So if we play the Penguins,
Ty's locked in. He's locked in on Chris Kreider and the Rangers.
I love
I'm
it.
focused.
I love it.
It's a big we. It's a big we for sure.
Rapid fire question. Any team you want can win their respective cup
Penn
or
State
title.
football.
Penn State football?
Yeah,
Lose
The
usually.
Jets.
that's
by a
not
lot.
even close.
Yeah. That's
I've
funny.
I've seen. Yeah,
I didn't know, Ty, it was Penn State that much for you.
yeah, it's not even remotely
Yeah, wouldn't even be close for me either.
close.
Who would be your second?
What would be Kawhi? What would be your one? I mean, you've seen it. You've won championships.
Yeah, it wouldn't matter. I would every year. I would give up everything else.
The
for
only
it.
thing Ryan likes is Ohio State. You know.
Yeah. That's facts.
Yeah, I mean,
What
we
would be- what
we
would be
won the
your
Big Ten
second tie?
championship. That was pretty good. My second would probably be the Knicks. I'd say my second would be the Knicks.
Lewis Hamilton 8th.
Yeah, like I mean the Astros. Probably the Astros. I love when the Astros are winning. Probably the Astros are second.
You know what mine would be?
What?
The Blue Jackets.
The Blue
Wow,
Jackets?
big
That'd be
Blue
fun.
Jackets guy.
Yeah.
They're the only Columbus team like I really had. Like I didn't want. I grew up watching like in the Patriots, so I didn't get like I wasn't a Browns guy. I wasn't a Bengals guy. Like we didn't have a baseball team like you had the Clippers. Like the Blue Jackets came around in 2001, 2002. So I was 8, 9. So it's like CBJ's been around forever. Like then you lose Panarin for goalie Bob. You lose Duchesne. You lose draft picks. Like you lose everybody. Then you're like, hey, this is kind of the rebuilding season. You got Line A. He's a stud. But yeah, it would definitely be CBJ.
Oh, right. Are you an NCAA 14 guy? Back in the day, the video game.
Yeah, we talked about this. I have the game. So Denard Robinson's on the cover of that. So of course that's unacceptable. So we have the custom printout one with Zach Boren standing over Devin Gardner, looking down on him. Like we have the custom printout one. But yeah, absolutely.
I was going to say
sure.
my third pick is my Rutgers dynasty. If we can win the
dynasty with Rutgers, nice.
Yeah.
So like shout out to like
Big Ten.
NCAA football back in the day when like we would all do like online dynasties and like you'd get it and Tyler would get it and I would get it and
the best thing in the world.
I'd play my week and then you'd play your week and then Tyler would play his week and we'd all advance our weeks and then eventually like we'd play for a BCS.
That's what I'm talking about. My friends too. We're gonna do it with the new one. We should get a card talk.
A
card talk online dynasty for NCAA football. I'm in.
I'm in for that.
I'm in.
Yeah, by the way, I just confirmed that the tickets thing that we were talking about before is good to go. So that's good.
Let's go. Back on that what I want to see win thing, there hasn't been like meaningful games played at the Garden in some time now.
So I don't know. The Trae Young playoff games were meaningful.
Yeah, they're a pretty big deal, Ty.
Those were a big. That's the biggest deal. I mean, before that, I'm not sure.
You lost,
and there was 2 of them.
Yeah, I mean that's meaningful.
I get it. I was at the game. They won, but like we were never. That was. We went down 0-2 quick.
To say that was never a big.
It was a playoff game. But like do you know what a playoff run looks like? Like where there's like many
with the
of
Knicks?
them.
No, I've never seen it before.
Like the Rangers had a real good one back when we first started at Vayner. When I first started at Vayner, like 2014, Rangers had a real 14, 15, 16, 17 real playoff games happening, real action, real juice in the city. The Knicks haven't. I mean,
that's true. By the way, the Rangers juice for that run was real and
crazy.
Like, you could feel it in the city.
Yeah,
I remember going to the Blue Jackets versus the Bruins in the second round. The first time I went to that was the day I pulled the Luka NT RPA at a 20. It was the first time the Blue Jackets had ever
on a high.
The Blue Jackets had ever hosted a second round playoff game ever in franchise history, and I was there. Probably, I mean, top 3 sporting event I've ever been to in my life.
Now imagine New York City.
No thanks.
Action.
Pass. All right, let's move on to some Facebook questions. I know Jason said we've got a decent amount of those. All right, so we said, speaking of what we just talked about, Dan Patterson said, will the long delay in Prizm football affect its value? We have a full year of the quarterbacks and seem like smart money is in the 2020 class.
I absolutely think it's going to have a dramatic impact on the players in the class. There's too much attention is going to be diverted away.
I could not disagree more. Could not disagree more.
You think it's going to be extra hot because it's been so long?
I think there's a couple things. One, it's Prizm, so it doesn't matter when it comes out as much. People are going to want the thing. One of the topics we're going to get probably 2 more next week, since we didn't have time today, is the NFL draft for 2022. The 2022 NFL draft class is not as good.
For
Burrow
QBs,
and
yeah.
Yep, Burrow and Herbert stuff will definitely be there. 2020 is going to be awesome. There are 6 quarterbacks right now in the 2021 draft that will likely start on week 1. 6 of them. Right? That's a fifth of the league, essentially. And they're in one class. Now, are they all going to pan out? Absolutely not. Couldn't agree.
6 guys.
6 guys. Davis Mills, Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, Justin Fields, Trevor Lawrence, Mac Jones. 6 quarterbacks.
Wow.
All respect to Davis Mills, but feels like an NCAA football 2014 kind of guy.
Feels like a guy that you recruit 7 years into your dynasty.
Feels like a 5-star with a big arm.
He's gonna be there. He's gonna start, right? It's gonna matter. So
that's like what Josh Allen. I mean, Josh Allen is an NCAA football 2014 guy. Big arm, can run, plays at Wyoming, tank.
And he's a top 3 quarterback in the league.
I have nothing to say about that.
He's a top 3 QB in the league, right? So, again, like, do I think it would have been helpful to get Prizm during the season? Yes, because I think what you're going to miss out on is, like, the Mac Jones hysteria. When Mac Jones, I mean, my goodness,
Mac Jones. Say Mac Jones hysteria?
Mac Jones Donruss PS potential for $2,000 during the season. Yeah, that's hysteria.
Right. You know why that happened.
Supply
it's not
demand.
Because there's hysteria.
Brother, he won, like, what, 5 games in a row? Mac Jones stuff was, like, crazy this year.
So you're recommending people spend money on Mac Jones?
Not at all. I'm saying it would have had a different outcome for Mac Jones cards during the season. That's it.
I have nothing to say. That's a ridiculous statement.
That it could. Do you think Mac Jones Prizm base cards would have sold more in May of 2022 or more in November of 2020? Or
of course, in November of 2021, because that's when
my
they
only
were winning
argument.
Games.
That's my only argument. That's my only argument.
Okay. Oh, you're talking about like previous hysteria. I thought you meant like when it comes out, there'll be Mac Jones hysteria.
No, like it would have been
understand.
hysterical during the season when he was hot. It's not going to have that same effect now, but people are going to still want golds. Like there's going to be a multiple 5-figure sales on Prizm golds of a lot of guys in there. What I think is going to end up happening is the 2021 class it's not going to be as good as Burrow and Herbert. I think those guys are in a different world, but I think you're going to have some talent from this class. And as the 2022 guys come out, do I think people are going to rather have Matt Corral, Malik Willis, Kenny Pickett, or do I think they're going to want Trevor Lawrence, Mac Jones, Justin Fields, Zach Wilson, Trey Lance? I think they're going to take those guys, and that's where I think the 2021 class will do much better in the long term. So, Jay,
real quick, as a quick incision, this past Sunday was one of the most epic Premier League matches. Man City versus Liverpool. Just the pomp and circumstance was out, and it was a proper match. 2-2. City went up 1-0 at home. Liverpool comes back 1-1. City goes up 2-1. Liverpool comes back 2-2. Then there's a big goal, but it's offsides. But they heard my chin. Just a lot of action. Top players in the world. People need to pay a little bit more attention to what's happening in Premier League, because we're going to be what's today? April? 8 months, 4 episodes a month.
8 days.
When we're 8 days till Lou's birthday, that's where we're at right now. In about 25 episodes, the World Cup's going to be over in Qatar. And this country's going to explode with love for proper footy. So be prepared.
Do you think that the World Cup's going to get overshadowed by the NFL? Because I think it is.
This World Cup coming up? No.
The World Cup.
The day after Thanksgiving, USA, England is going to be like.
USA is not what I'm talking about. Non-USA related matches. It's going to be epic. I'm ready for that. I'm talking about outside of that. Do you think?
Like if the USA if they lose in the round of 16, do you think it's going to continue the same buzz, or is it contingent?
I think it's very contingent on us being in the mix.
What, the World Cup?
That's when it'll be like popping here. Is as long as we're in it.
Bro, the World Cup was lit.
The World Cup doesn't do
Last
with the
World
NFL
Cup.
every time.
I know that. It'll be fine. They're working around that. I mean, rights deals, the whole thing. I'm talking about the day the World Cup ends. That's my point. My point is not about this World Cup. My point is the World Cup, the day the World Cup ends. The day the World Cup ends, we have a countdown, just like we do for National. We have a 4-year countdown to the World Cup being played in America. That will be the biggest sporting event of all time ever.
Real quick.
2026 World Cup in North America. It's also in Canada and in Mexico. And the final is going to be at MetLife Stadium. And that will be it. That'll be bigger than the Olympics. That'll be everything.
They're doing the final at MetLife Stadium.
Where else would they do it? But it's the capital
Like
of the
at
world.
SoFi Stadium, maybe? Like, we stink. MetLife Stadium.
Also, you don't go to LA for a global audience.
Look at Lou's face for.
You're right. You go to Rutherford, New Jersey.
TV, bro. Come on. 3 hours.
All right, next question. Johnny F says, how can we convince any of you guys to come up to a show in the Great White North?
I've never been to Canada.
I'm going to Canada. I'm going to Canada on Sunday, on Easter.
The Toronto,
with Andy K. We're going to Banff Springs for a week.
Wow.
the Expo's there, I think. There's like
Montreal
a
Expos?
no. There's yeah.
I
There's
might
a-
go to a Flames, Calgary Flames game.
There's like a card convention there. It's like the National, but in Canada.
I would love to go. We got invited to that once, I think. I would love to go to that. I've just
How
never
can
been
we
to Canada.
convince any of you guys to come to a show up in the Great White North? Okay, let's answer the question. How can we be convinced?
I can
Ryan?
be convinced very easily.
Yeah, I could probably be convinced relatively easily to go.
I would love
can
to go to
probably-
a show there in like the summertime when it isn't like miserable.
Yeah.
That'd be great. That's like a little
In
request on my end, but you know.
Yeah, if we can get a little bit more data from Johnny F over to Jay, that gets in the mix. There's planning far enough out. I think it could be something.
all right, here's a good question. Sean Madden says, if modern players that have huge Prizm base pop numbers become Hall of Famers and potential all-time greats, do you think their Prizm base cards could have long-term value the way a Kobe, LeBron, Jordan, or rookie, or it says the way a Kobe, LeBron, or Jordan rookie do?
The Prism base cards, I mean, it depends on what
The value for value, no.
well, because there's less of those,
Yeah, supply and demand, sure.
right? I mean, there's so that like 2012 Prism potentially.
Right, what's the cutoff in your mind? Do you think it's like 2017?
That's a good time period. Yeah.
Yeah, Tatum is like I feel like the last guy who doesn't have like
Yeah, that's a really good.
7,000 or
Yeah, that's
whatever.
typically right around the
Hey,
cutoff.
Wiggins.
I mean, the one thing is, and like, it'll be interesting to see what Fanatics does to the market in terms of overall volume, like number of players, right? Like Fanatics has said that they're going to put cards in a lot of places and get eyeballs on it. And I don't know who said it. I just remember hearing somebody say something about like the Luka Prism 10. It's an interesting take. It makes you think. But they said like, how many Luka 10s are there? What is it? 20,000?
something like
15,000?
that.
Right? Someone said that's like, that's not even enough seats in the Mavericks arena.
That's always been my argument with the base card thing.
So makes you think. Now, do I personally want a Luka Doncic PSA 10 Prism base card? No, does nothing for me. I would rather have a serial numbered card. I'd rather have an autograph. Like there's other things I would rather have. But again, I think base cards, like the graded cards, are oftentimes seen as an entry point into the market. I think it's a way to, learn the market more from where you're at, like when you're first getting into it. But I don't think to me, I don't think the base, especially the last 4 or 5 years, are really long-term plays that are going to compare to Jordan, LeBron, and Kobe as much.
Do you think the $500 value that it's at right now is still inflated, or you consider that to be close to a true value?
That's a good
It's been
question.
sitting around 500 for a while. I check constantly.
Yeah.
Luka?
Yeah.
That doesn't seem terrible.
But so in a world where it's 500, like,
So let me ask you this. Like Zion, I think is around 175. I think Zion's around 200.
I wouldn't touch a Zion if I were a 10-foot pole.
And that to me, so that's where like, again, like I talked about this Tiger pre-show is like, when you compare dollar for dollar, like what the same dollar of one person gets you for another, that is where I think you can find, there's potential in the market. There's plays in the market. So would you rather have 2.5 Zions or 1 Luka? At this point, I'd probably rather have the Luka. So Michael Davis says, hey guys, if you could travel back in time and tell your younger self what goats to invest in, who would you pick and why? Here are your choices. Brady, Tiger, Kobe, LeBron, or Jordan.
Oh, those are my only choices? How do you not put Messi on this list?
Jordan.
Yeah, Jordan is the obvious answer, right?
Yep. For sure.
The combination of the base card plus like the patch autos and all that stuff. It's
yep. I remember
You're saying
watching
about Jordan.
I remember watching a friend buy a Jordan Exquisite patch auto out of 100 at the show at the Chicago National in 2016 for sub $3,000, right? And it's like that card, that's 5-6 years ago, and looking at that card now, it's what?
Yeah, and I just think out of the Brady, Tiger, Kobe, LeBron, MJ, like I'd rather have MJ cards than any of those guys. So like just from a collectability standpoint too, it's
MJ.
That one for me.
I would say MJ. I probably would have put Gretzky on there, but MJ.
Yeah.
Ian Priest says long-term investment. Ken Griffey Jr. inserts versus Barry Bonds inserts.
Barry Bonds by a country mile.
Ken Griffey Jr.
Griffey. The best swing in baseball.
I think Bonds is the most disrespected baseball player of all time.
I think the narrative
by the
matters,
national media.
And
no one is loved more in their hometown more than Barry Bonds.
I would debate that.
Okay.
I would potentially.
Tyler Schmidt is definitely loved in his hometown for sure. Like Ty Schmidt's a hometown guy.
Barry Bonds.
I am a hometown guy.
Barry Bonds is
just Ken Griffey Jr. is culture.
Yeah.
Ken Griffey Jr. is straight up
literally the swingman.
Culture. Yeah.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more that it's the kid.
I think if you showed pictures of both people to someone who doesn't necessarily know who those two people are, they're going to say, I recognize Barry Bonds before they recognize Ken Griffey Jr., depending on their age. But
Ken Griffey Jr. is is a top 10 iconic sports card of all time.
Yeah.
I understand.
Griffey is legendary. Barry Bonds, when you think about Barry Bonds, you think about how he was built like Griffey and then all of a sudden became Thor overnight.
Yeah, that was lit.
Steroids awesome. Sure, but like there's no denying that he took a lot of steroids.
I'm pro steroids, so
I'm not against steroids at all. I think the MLB is a crock of shit for what they did with the McGuire Sosa pump it to the moon and then dump it back on everyone's face. Kind of MLB did the old pumpy dumpy. Look at these guys hitting bombs, put them in front of everyone's face, get everyone else to take juice so that they could hit bombs, and then literally tell them that they can't take juice, even though they said the best two players in the game are clearly taking juice. And so they did the old pumpy and dumpy on everyone's face. Your sport, everyone's sport.
MLB pumpy dumpy is really good.
The MLB pumpy dumpy is real. Kamish pumped and dumped like Bud Selig, the man himself. But then pitchers started taking roids to get better faster. But Bonds' hat size doubled, bro.
So
Griffey was just getting injured. And
I think Barry Bonds is the most disrespected athlete in baseball history.
You still got to be able to swing the bat. You still got to put fear in the opponent.
Absolutely, bro.
Oh. Right,
for people, I'm talking about people my age. I can't speak for older people. I'm talking about my age.
Bonds was dope, but Griffey was dope.
Who deserves to be in the Hall of Fame more, Barry Bonds or Pete Rose?
Both.
Barry Bonds, both, but Barry Bonds. I think he had more of an impact on the current state of baseball more than Pete Rose did.
All right, Jay, let's get that up on IG poll or Twitter. I would love to know what the listeners think.
Who deserves more?
Who deserves to be in the Hall of Fame more? You can only put one guy in. Only put one guy in. You got to pick one. Who are you picking? All right, let's get into Play of the Week. If you guys are new here, it's where Tyler, Lou, and I we'll see some plays that Jason's gonna take from the listeners. He'll put them together, give us 5 plays typically every week. But Jason has said that this is going to be a great week. So we had to have 6 this week. So let's see what we got. Shocker. All right. So this, I got to make this full screen here. All right. So this is from Added Detail. It says, my cousin told me to reach out about a recent transaction. Was at a fairly large toy show in Ohio. Got there early, and the first table I walked up to happened to have this in their case. It was priced at $175. Offered him $160, which he accepted. Sold for $900 cash the next weekend. It's a 1985 Topps WWF Hulk Hogan PSA 9.
So, in my opinion, this is one of the I would consider to be like a classic sports card or classic trading card, sports card, whatever. I love this card. I think it's the piece from the 1985 Top set for wrestling, which I think is like a top 3 or 4 wrestling set of all time. I love this card. I don't understand how he got it for 175 or got it for 160. Excellent work. Excellent work.
It's a great. I mean, there's so much I love about this. One, this individual added detail.
Oh, it wasn't a card show; it was a toy show. Sorry, which is even better.
This person added detail. My gut says they've never listened to our podcast.
100%.
My gut says they don't do much.
Yeah, my cousin told me to reach out.
Yeah, my cousin said, can we get some love for the cousin, Jay? Can you do some work?
Shout out to
the cousin's info. Because if this person wins play of the week, I highly doubt they give a damn about what we're up to. But it just goes to show arbitrage is arbitrage and toy show. And, that's why I think Judy's been such an amazing addition to this, because understanding the different universes and back to the pre-talk and everyone being confused about prices here, prices there, acting like eBay hasn't had crazy flips going on forever. So I just love this because the person who sold it probably is like, I want nothing to do with this damn thing. And it just goes to shows. And it's probably sat there and multiple people have walked by and not cared at all.
Mm-hmm.
And this person came by and hit him with the 175. I'm not offering you 175. Let's go with 160. Real
Jay
quick.
Would never.
Jay, pick up.
Jay would never.
Notes, Jay. Because he probably had 8. He either had 160 or 180. He didn't have change. He probably pulled up with 200, boom, and then flipped it. I like the play, and it's amazing that it landed here on Card Talk, because I highly doubt this person has ever heard of our show, but a play is a play.
All right, next one, Jay.
Real quick, Added Detail also has a Secretariat PC, which I respect a lot.
Oh, now we're talking.
Yeah.
All right, so this is wild. All right, so this is from True Moo. It says, Play of the Week. I ordered a box of the new 2021 Upper Deck Goodwins Champions on Wednesday, April 7th for $189. Figured it would be a fun rip, even though it's an unlicensed product, since there's a chance of hitting an auto from some of the GOATs of the hobby. Jordan, Gretzky, Tiger, LeBron. For the price point, I figured why not, and some of the entertainment autos hold some value as well. The box was delivered on Friday, and I immediately opened it. I had a 1-of-1 Michael Jordan Superfractor and a celebrity auto. I posted the Jordan in a couple MJ collector hobby groups on Saturday, and within hours, I had multiple offers. Going back and forth, I made a deal for $2,550 via the PayPal goods and services. After fees and purchase of the box, my net profit is right around $2,260. I rarely rip wax because of how expensive it is anymore, but with the box being under $200, I was willing to roll the dice, and it turned out to be very profitable.
I would like to say that the people who say you can't rip cheap wax anymore, here's the answer to your question. $189 for a box, and then you could sell a MJ for $25.50 within days or hours is real good stuff.
Yeah, going back onto that train of thought. Okay, the Masters this weekend. The degenerates of the world, right? FanDuel, DraftKings. Pete Rose isn't allowed in the Hall of Fame, but baseball has deals with betting companies all over the world. Point being,
that is wild. That is
crazy. Right. One of the beautiful things about this hobby, if you will, this beloved hobby of ours, is that many degenerates put 10, 15, $200 on random golfers this past weekend and got nothing in return for losing.
$0.
This person paid $189 for the same entertainment form of potential and gambling, what have you. And even if they pulled nothing, there'd be some cards that are worthwhile that some people may be interested in. but boom, they hit.
That is always why I believe in I will believe in sports cards over the idea of betting. Like, Lou was talking about a parlay with the Suns and the Bucks, and he's like, yeah, it's +5, and I'm not trying to give Lou shit, but it's like both of those things have to happen for it to be successful. But if you believe it's going to happen, you could buy a Giannis auto and a Devin Booker auto. And if they don't win the finals, you still have a Devin Booker auto and a Giannis auto. Yeah. So it's just like you have something tangible to walk away with. Like, I understand like I don't understand it because I'm not in that world, but like the idea of putting $1 on like a 15-team parlay and hitting 200K sounds awesome. Like very, very cool. I'm sure the odds are 1 in a million, but yeah, that's why I like sports cards so much is you have something tangible from it after, regardless of what the outcome of the event is.
Yep. Agreed. And also, to your point, seal wax will always be a thing because.
Is that from Space Jam, that picture, by the way?
I don't think so.
I think it's the same card they used for the Hanes product. The same picture they used for the Hanes product. That's what it looks like to me. All right. So this is from, is it Snoo Cards? It says Player of the Week submission. I bought this card at the National last year in Chicago for $900 cash, plus a little bit in trade. I ended up having about $1,500 into it. I ended up moving it at Card Collector 2's trade night with the same day for a Jason Tatum Kaboom rookie BGS 9, which I later sold for $2,000 and $2,500 cash. So I ended up profiting around $3,000. I've always thought about the card and I've looked for one ever since. Well, almost a year later, I saw this amazing card again. But he said I not only saw this card again, but it was the exact same card at the Dallas Card Show trade night and knew I had to have it back. I purchased it once again for $2,700 cash and didn't plan on selling it, but was offered $3,500 last week and decided to let it go once again. I now have profited $3,800 on the same card in 2 separate sales in less than 1 year. My man said he wanted it back so bad, finds it, and then sells it again.
A play is a play, yo. A play is a play. I agree, Courtney. That is a fire play. And he still he sold the Kaboom.
Yeah, sold the Kaboom for $2,000 and got $25. So he got the Tatum Kaboom and the Kobe, and $2,500 cash. Sells the Tatum Kaboom later. So he's at $4,500 for something he had $1,500 in. Right. Then he sees the card again. He's like, cool, I can buy for $2,700. So he's still net $1,300 and then sells it for $3,500. So he says he profited $3,800. Maybe my math's off.
Well, no, because he's including the Tatum, the $2,000 for the Tatum, I think.
So he got two. Yeah. So he got $4,500 for that. Got $3,000. He's up 3.
Yeah. I feel like we shouldn't break down the math.
Yeah, I'm trying
the math's right. I did the math.
The math is definitely right.
Although I have a tax man cometh in my life, so now when I see these numbers, I'm like, well, really about only 65% of that you take home, unless you're dealing in cash, which.
Yeah,
talking taxes.
Yeah, yeah.
We're breaking down math, talking taxes. That means we've been on this play too long.
It was a somber weekend for the kid. It was a tough weekend for the kid.
Patrick Perez. Oh, this will be cool. He says, I bought a 1998 Jordan round ball refractor for $45 at SneakerCon in San Antonio, and I sold it for $580.
I would love to make a quick point here. Toy show, SneakerCon, card play is happening. Everybody should keep that in mind.
Somebody said something. I don't know where I was talking about this the other day, but it made me think about it. Gosh, I'm trying to remember where it was. Do you think it's a play to set up card stuff at places like this? SneakerCon or toy shows? Be like one of the only people there that has sports cards. I think it's a play.
I would say so.
Setting up a card booth, right? Sports cards only at a toy show or SneakerCon. Now, 100%. Could you have
You're the only game in town.
Yeah. Could you have a pair of sneakers or something else to sell? Cool. Could you buy sneakers? Yeah, sure. Same thing with toys. Like, I don't know if the show promoters necessarily want that as much. I don't know if that's frowned upon, but I think it brings up an interesting point with stuff like this, where it's like, hey, there's nobody else doing cards there, but there could be interest in it. So I don't know Jordan well enough, but $560 for or $580 for a Jordan 90s refractor seems relatively cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't follow Jordan's market well
screw
enough.
down though.
Yeah,
it is. That's tough.
Bought and sold in a screw down.
I would love to know.
Quarters, bottom left corner.
I think, just as a general thought for people submitting in the future, if you have that big of a jump, I would love to know like how you got it for 45. Like, what was the negotiation like? I'm just confused how you go from 45 to 580. He doesn't say how long it was, but how long the flip was. But that seems like a very large jump. Great work.
All right, Jade, is there one more? Oh,
Here
we go. All right, Super Sam 57. Sam says, I have an epic 101 play of the week. I purchased 2 F1 blaster boxes and 1 hobby box. I ended up pulling a Charles Leclerc 101 foil refractor. I submitted to PSA, got it back today, 411 as a PSA 9. I just sold it for $5,100 via Facebook.
Yeah,
after shipping and fees, I made a total of $4,144.82, the biggest flip of my entire life. Nothing beats making money and having fun ripping wax with your friends. That was his PS at the end.
Hell yeah, Sam.
Yeah,
that's 100% true. There's nothing like ripping a box with your friends that you're like half and half on, and you pull something crazy, and then you guys get to sell it together. That's the best.
Like we showed that before with the Justin Herbert red zone auto.
Yes,
that video those kids freaking out.
Yep. Big card though. I mean, guy's hot.
It's on fire.
And
he drives for Ferrari. That's gotta matter, right?
I mean, okay.
It's like playing for the Yankees.
Pause a little bit. 6 episodes. Is this totally left field? I mean, it was Max Lewis chatter. Lewis is like feeling like modern day LeBron James. Like,
it's left field so far as the last 2 seasons they've been nowhere near being able to put together a championship level car, and also he's running away with it. He won by 20 seconds.
So there was big car change, right?
Yes.
Is it every 2 years there's new like car regulations and rules?
I don't know how all that works, Ty, to be honest with you. I know they changed the rules.
Going into this year, there was a big revamp of the car because they'd been working on it in the middle of the last season for this year. And early on, Ferrari clearly has put the best vehicle on the track, right?
Yeah, it's very clear they have the best car.
I mean, we didn't talk about much of it because we brought it up in the beginning, but it's just, if you list like the 5 things you hate to see, the number 1 would be Max not finishing a race,
which has now happened. What 2 of 4?
2 of 4. I mean,
the concern is if he could stay on the track, he's going to win the race. So that's a little bit concerning. But
if he finishes, he wins.
If he could just stay on the track, like these races would be a lot closer.
Yeah, that's what Again, we give Max a lot of crap, but dude's phenomenal. Like there was that stat on Twitter a couple weeks ago that in the last 22 races, this was before Australia, but in the last 22 races, Max crossed the cross-checkered flag, right? Finished the race. He was 1 or 2 in 21 of those races.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Insane level driver. Yeah, I just confirmed he won by 20.54 seconds, almost 21 seconds. The track is also a piece of that. Like the way the track is designed affects the straightaways when they can pass, all that good stuff. Shout out to all my F1 people, but 20 seconds is a lot. He is running away with this season. It's crazy.
Side note, less than a month away from Miami.
I'm back in danger again, so I don't know what's gonna happen.
All right, Jay, is there any more?
I think there's one more. He said.
Okay. All right, so this is from Amanda X Band on Twitter. It says, "Hello, this is my entry for Play of the Week. Back in November, I purchased a raw 2017 Flawless Cuts memorabilia Ted Williams card numbered at 25 for $1,100. She got it on eBay. It says, this seemed like a decent price for the card, but also it's Ted Williams, and the value of his signature isn't going down anytime soon. I had the card graded by PSA through Express, and it came back a PSA 10 with a DNA auto score of 8. I sent in the card for consignment to gold and got $2,821 for it. One of the easiest plays I've ever made. Don't sleep on high value cards of baseball legends like Ted Williams. Love the podcast. That's pretty good.
That's a dope card. Is that a check? It's got to be a check, right?
Yeah. You see
That's so
count
sick.
numbers with a bad, good looking card too.
Yeah, it's a great card. And a 10. I feel like it's hard to 10 those cards now.
Yeah, I mean it's thick from a briefcase. I think the flawless is typically individually packed as well. So, yeah, cool card.
I love it. Sold it on Golden too. Love it.
All right, what do we?
Ted Williams is good. I mean, the boy.
Scroll through.
This is a pretty good week.
Charles, no. Round ball, maybe. I love the story of the Kobe.
Yeah, so the only thing, like, I love the Charles play. I love the Jordan play. The hardest part with me for those is if the box doesn't go that way, the story doesn't exist.
Agreed.
So I'm always more for like, hey, I found this card for $50 and sold it for $5,000, or I bought this card knowing it was going to go up and it worked out. I love the plays. I think those are awesome cards, and congrats to them for the polls. That's more of a pull of the week to me than it is a play of the week. So I would probably pass on Leclerc or Jordan as much as I think they're awesome. To me, it's a lot more luck based than anything. So I would go with the Kobe auto. I think that story is funny. I think that's pretty good. Make your money. You want another one back later. You get it, and you're like, hey, I got this card, but shoot, someone's gonna offer me $800 more. Never turned down a good profit. # flip life. I'm in on that.
Yeah, I'm dying to take the toy show one, the Hogan. I'm dying to. I think it's cool. They can play as a toy show. So, I'm going with the Hogan.
What's the next one?
Jordan, Kobe, Leclerc, Jordan.
Yeah, it's Hogan. It's Hogan. It's the Hogan play. I mean,
Wrestling, baby.
shout out the cousin. Like, shouts to my cousin.
Real quick. Let's stop this podcast. We got him, guys. We got him. Another one from Ohio.
No way.
How do you know this person's from Ohio?
It just says I was in a toy show in Ohio. It's got to be another Ohio person, right? You're not traveling to a toy show from out of Ohio. We got to check with added detail. It says Ohio. It's Ohio. Shout out to Ohio for putting Car Talk Play of the Week on the map.
I'm so done with that state.
You
But
guys
can we
didn't
get
even
added
catch it. I was
details,
waiting for you
cousin,
guys to
on
catch
the-
it.
I'm sorry for having some integrity and not letting the fact that he's from Ohio disturb my pick. But
I
There
didn't
will
even
never be
pick it
another
either.
winner from
I
Ohio.
didn't pick it.
I know you didn't pick it.
You picked it.
We're aware of
You
what you did.
guys did it.
You slept. You played mind games. Don't ever play mind games with me again.
Yeah, you wanted me to pick. You wanted.
Yeah.
me to
No,
pick
I
that
picked the
Hogan.
Kobe.
Yes, you
Actually, shout out to Dallas Card Show. Flipped it at the National. Was that trade night? Like, that's an awesome story. I love that play. You guys just thought the Ohio Card Show was better. Can we get
I'm
a no?
devastated.
Manchester United is in shambles.
All right, let's wrap up. Added detail. Congratulations.
Out of
You
detail
need your
with a
cousin.
win.
Wait, hold on. Disclaimer. Added detail can potentially transfer or cannot transfer play of the week to the cousin.
Cannot.
Interesting.
Hopefully, added detail will listen to the show going forward.
Yeah.
That would
I think they listen because they follow the show and they follow you, Rye. So I feel like they might
That's
listen.
awesome. I hope they're in Ohio. That would make it. I mean, I think that would be 3 or 4 out of the last 5 winners would be from Ohio.
With the propaganda, okay? With the propaganda.
There's 50 states.
Lou, are you back on
we have
Fortnite?
international plays.
My back on. No, I only care about NCAA 14.
Is it crazy to y'all that, like, one, we haven't talked about it, but are people buying Pete Davidson rookies?
Those exist.
I didn't know this existed.
I mean, I just can't believe it dude's actually with Kim Kardashian.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of nuts, but like,
pass.
I don't know.
Do you
Just
want?
saying, rookies
When
might
are we
be a
gonna
play.
start this NCAA league where like everybody gets like
When it
maybe
comes out,
No, like 14. Like go back, like get the Xbox 360 going.
it's like sneaky hard to set up, but I'm down whenever you guys want to start. And
I
online,
will commit to time, and I'm willing to stream it. Like if someone's willing to set it
speaking
up.
of streaming,
What's happening? You're going in? You're getting in the mix?
What is that?
He's
I
a
have the-
streamer.
I have the piece to stream now.
I don't know what
Hey,
that is.
hold on.
NCAA 14 streams coming soon.
A big Fortnite card sold yesterday. a lot of Fortnite cards sold out yesterday,
Yeah.
but one big one. Banana went for 261. Banana's hot.
Ryan, what do you think about my 2 Eli Moore cards I got in the mail?
Very cool.
Wait, so
Thank
the Italy Fortnites are the joints, though?
No, Americans are.
American.
Italy is good, but America is the main one.
America's
2019 Italy print, Fortnite Series 1, Peely, Crystal Shard, PSA 9.
Crystal Shard is like the parallel you want, and
Yeah.
so
Those are from,
the
like, mega
American
boxes, right?
ones, the American ones are thousands and thousands of dollars. So I think people jump.
That one went for best. Let's see, what was that site? Something point
130 sales.130point.com.
sales.
It went for $500.
Was that best offer?
Yeah.
All right, real quick. We got to wrap it up. A couple releases this week.
Not Prizm.
Contenders basketball, encased football, upper deck ultimate collection hockey, overtime elite basketball, Topps UEFA Champions League soccer, and Donruss racing.
Might need some of that Champs League.
A lot of different sports. Encased football is a fun one. Encased card per box, like that typically does well. Contenders basketball with cracked ices, on card autos, stuff like that can do well. Ultimate collection hockey is a pretty popular release. That's a top 10 or so hockey product.
Yeah, that's I think that's the McDavid that I have.
Yeah, that's a popular one. So good release week. Got some stuff coming up down the road. Prizm Draft Picks, Collegiate Baseball, Bowman University Football, Phoenix Football, Bowman Baseball, Panini 1 Football, Revolution Basketball, and Definitive Baseball coming up in the next couple weeks.
Oh, DJ Nicholson. Did you see the backyard baseball card that I put on my stories this week?
Yeah, so I think it was in the Boston show, and I completely
One that
missed
DJ
it.
sent in our group.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big fan.
Most reactions I've gotten to a card in a very long time.
Is that true?
Yeah. DMs were just everyone's like, need that, need that, need that, need that, need that, need that, need that. Now I know we'll probably get buried for like pumping backyard baseball cards and all that, but like,
Yeah.
So be careful. Don't overpay for like a Pablo Sanchez. Not like everyone in the world would want that card or anything, but just be careful out there. Wait, someone submitted a Pablo Sanchez play and it didn't make the cut?
Jay, brother.
That scares me a lot.
Jay, brother.
I
It's like
couldn't
literally like what our show's made for.
I wanted to put it in because I knew your post and I knew it was getting a lot of love, and somebody submitted it and he found him in his. I'll put it in. I'll put it in.
No, it's too late now.
I'll put it in post production. I'll stick it on the screen right now. I'll stamp it on the screen so everyone.
There was
can
like
see it.
multiple irrelevant plays in that play of the week.
He
Wow,
found
that's
it
a
in
shot at those
his
people.
parents, and he went back to his parents' house and he found it in the closet and he sold it for $100 and it was a cool play, but I just didn't think it had a chance of winning. So
That
Guy-
would have won play of the week.
That would have won play of the week.
It would have been a shoe
He
in.
found it at his parents' basement and he sold
yeah,
it
and
for
he
$100.
even made a comment about how it basically
Isn't that
his parents didn't have to pay for babysitting when he was growing up
Courtney.
because of all the.
If you are listening, if you are the person who has that card, you got robbed of the play of the week victory.
You should get dinner at National.
Isn't that literally what play of the week is?
It's like the definition of play of the week.
That man sold that Kobe card twice, and you guys did
Courtney,
Kobe
we may
card's not
need
the
to
one
talk. Courtney might need to take over, but what else did not make play of the week? What
I mean,
else
we got
hasn't
a
made play
lot
of
of
the week?
submissions this week. Everyone got fired up because of that post we put up, and it was definitely
Shout out
was
to
a big
Courtney.
week for play of the week.
Shout out to Courtney. Would have picked the Kobe card. All right, guys, let's wrap it up.
Oh, man.
We got releases. We got through all that. Hey, real quick though, seriously, on a more serious note, Dwayne Haskins, man, tough stuff. Didn't talk about it at all. Try to, if you made it this far, we are an hour and 6 minutes in. Try to spread a little positivity and love today. That was I got that news when I was in Boston this weekend. Right, definitely makes you not take life for granted. That was tragic, right? 24 years old, Ohio State legend, but more importantly, a husband, brother, friend, teammate, a lot of stuff. So, be nice to somebody this week. You just stuff like that puts a lot of things into perspective. So I just figured we should address it before we end the episode. So,
Thanks, Sarah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as someone that has screamed a lot of things at the TV about Dwayne Haskins. Yeah, definitely just made me think about a lot of things.
Yep.
Obviously, he buried me many times in my sporting career. Yeah, that sucks. The messaging from everyone that I saw was just overpouring of how good of a human he was. It's unfortunate. It's going to happen fast, obviously.
So to end on a more upbeat and positive note, 100 episodes, right? We made it this far. I think we should end with a note that it wouldn't be 100 episodes. It wouldn't be the 100th episode, truthfully, if we didn't end with a Jason mistake. Shout out to Jason for not putting the backyard play in there. We'll see you guys next time for episode 101. Shout out to Jay.
Shout out Jay. Shout out Judy. Shout out Courtney as well, because the TikTok is back and it's on and it's popping. New formats.
I love Jason.
And the best comment wins a package.
Oh, yeah. Package.
All right, we're leaving. Goodbye.